Lindsay, I am with the head of WEF for Africa, that's Elsie Kanza. She joins me now as the third woman that we've spoken to. Clearly not so many women as men here, but let's first get a sense of the African agenda. Elsie, thank you so much for making the time to join us. Now, there have been views that the focus isn't not on Africa. Do you get a sense that Africa has been knocked off the pedestal in terms of being a priority on the WEF agenda?
Oh, absolutely not. We have a number of firsts. First, in terms of overall participation of the different African communities, and which is higher than it's ever been. We have highest ever participation of countries. We have 16 countries represented. We have over 60 business leaders. We have 7 heads of state and government. We have representatives from our youth communities, civil society, academia, and we even have Archbishop Thabo Makgoba, right? So Africa is fully represented in terms of voice. Yeah. And even across the program, we have a lot more sessions where we have the African voice. And I think it's really important to underscore that we've been able to reposition Africa in the global agenda with respect to issues that are common. That they can be global, but they're also relevant in Africa, and therefore our African participants are able to share their insights and further deepen their understanding, as well as share solutions that may be relevant to others.
Perhaps also give us just a bit of an indication of what the Africa agenda really is. What are some of those commonalities that are running across many of the African countries that are represented here?
Well, one is, let me focus on 2 main areas. One is with respect to the geopolitical crisis, so to speak, where we're seeing new kinds of trade and investment arrangements between countries. This definitely also plays or has an impact on the African continents, with Africa being the most promising investment destination at this juncture, right? So since 2001, Africa as a continent has been growing 2 to 3 percentage points above the global average. So Africa matters as far as investment is concerned. And so these new shifts of who's engaging with who and changes in alliances does have some implications. And so as Africans, we're paying attention to those discussions, including such things as the global, the security outlook, right? What's happening with resources, with the changes in commodity prices, and this includes oil. Again, this has an impact on Africa with new findings, and Africans are very well engaged. The other key area where we see Africa being featured on the global stage is with respect to economic outlook. Right. And just picking on what's happening with commodity prices, for countries that were major oil exporting countries, yes, they have been negatively impacted. Fortunately, a lot of the reforms that have contributed to the growth that we've been seeing are cushioning that to some extent.
Final questions, just because we're running out of time, and I really want us to throw forward to WEF Africa, which is coming up in June 2015. What to expect? What are you putting together for that particular meeting?
Very briefly, we'll be marking 25 years of change in Africa. This will be the 25th edition of the World Economic Forum on Africa. Some of you may remember that it started with South Africa's coming out of apartheid, and so we'll be looking back at what lessons we've learned over the last 25 years. We have some leaders today who were present then, and then we'll look forward. So looking forward another 25 years. So the overall theme is then and now, reimagining Africa's future, and we hope to deepen our insights on where to be bolder as well as where to be more pragmatic.
Elsie, thank you so much for your time.